Hello.
Welcome to the Enchanted Forest.
So I got a PB. I squeaked it out.
Now the island is back to
Updates
normal,
from the
but
last
reflection
recording
in
I
the
did of
lake
this
is
game.
all mixed up. It should make an upside-down
Someone
picture of the
competed
island.
against me,
We'll
and
have to
you could
fix
see
it
her
before we
time.
can get the boat
And it's a really
across the
fucking
lake
good
to
time. My
rescue
previous
Isla.
time's like
Never
9
going to
something,
get
I
out
believe,
here. To fix the
if
roof,
I'm
the
not mistaken.
reflection is... Use the
And she
fairy
kind of
bottle to
crushed
gather
it,
items
so
from the
GG.
forest. Yeah,
And I beat her world
but there's a
record,
slight
but
problem.
not by a lot.
I think we
So,
got
like,
ourselves a magical You
round of
bet.
applause. It took me,
We
as
can
you
make
can see all the
enchanted wands
splits,
in the vault to
21
bring the beauty
resets.
back to the forest.
And I'd
The
only
items we found
finished,
in the forest are
I
on the
mean,
shelf
but I'd
below.
only finished 5 full
But we need a
runs.
little fairy magic from the
And
bottom
the
shelf.
biggest
Follow the
reset
recipe
point
in
for
the
me
crumbs.
was the
Click on an
musical
item on the
segment
shelf
because I'm
and then add it
still
to the correct bottle.
absolutely horrible at it. I got a
The
little
bubbles are
bit better.
stuck. That's it. All the bottles have
The
the right
reason
items.
this run
Good job.
got
Now,
world
to
record,
enchant our
I
wand,
believe,
we
is
just need to click on
because
these
I
sparkling
golded
bottles
the
in
musical
correct
segment.
order. Take the wand from
Now,
the dent.
in the run, I wasn't
Watch
paying
the order
attention
the bottles
by how
flash.
much I
Click
golded
the
it,
bottles in that order to
and I'm
enchant
rewatching
the
this for the
wand.
first time. So, hopefully I can see how much I golded it by.
The wand is
Also,
becoming enchanted.
I played this on my regular Windows 11 OS. I didn't even have to use XP because apparently it works without a virtual machine.
The
I'm
flower
going to blame
tree is
Pinky
beautiful,
because
but it's not
I
playing
ran
any
this
music.
game. It was on his side of the list, but when he was having issues with it, I decided to run it.
That
And I
sound
thought it
sounds
only
right
worked
so far.
on
I'm
the Windows
starting to
XP, but
hear
no,
the song.
it works just fine on
Let's try
Windows
some
11.
different flowers.
I think it's because I have that cracked
The
disc
flowers
thing,
are ready
like
to
the
play.
whatever.
We've used
If you want more details on that, I think I go into it in my
let's see
previous
what we
PB.
need to
It's
make
been so
this
long I
wand.
kind of forget the details. Yeah.
We've added all the right items to that bottle.
So,
The bottles are
this is
sparkling
such
with
an
magic.
interesting run.
That's it. All the
This
bottles
isn't
have
the
the
kind
right
of game where
items.
I've run it so
Good
much that I
job.
hate it.
Time to enchant our
I've
new
learned
wand.
more
Take the
about
wand
it,
from Odette.
though, which makes
Be sure to click
sense.
the bottles in the correct order.
It's a lot of execution, but the RNG feels really
The
mean.
magic is working.
Like, to be fair, the musical note stuff is my
Discover
fault
little
when I mess it
creatures
up,
in the
but
forest with our new
still.
wand. The area around the flower.
Oh wow, that was barely
We
a
found the
gold,
swan
but because
nursery.
it
Look
was
at
a lot
the
better than
nest.
my previous
But the
PB.
swan should be hatched by now. They were
'Cause,
invited
like,
to
the objects where, those weird objects that
Okay,
spawn,
let's see what
it's
we
still
need to make
super
this
difficult to
wand.
see some of them.
It
I
looks
literally
like
have to
we're adding
reset
the
in the
right
beginning
items.
sometimes because I just cannot find the items quickly
We've
enough.
added all the right
Thankfully
items
this
to
time
that
I didn't
bottle.
have to reset too many runs in the middle because of object placement. But I did have to reset a few.
All the bottles have the right items. Good
And they did
job.
ruin some
Time
good
to
paces.
enchant our new wand. Take
Like,
the wand from Odette.
there were a couple runs
Be
where I
sure
got
click
to,
the bottles
like,
in
the
correct
MS
order.
Paint area, and I reset. I think it was like 2 runs. And of course, I reset Spin the Fairy, so,
wand is
you know,
becoming
just like,
enchanted.
God.
This new
But
wand
by
will
far,
bring the magic
musical
of the
was where I
fairies
reset
to
the most.
forest. At least the forest.
Also,
These
I didn't even
beautiful
realize it
swan
when I
eggs
first
were
played
about
it,
to hatch,
but
they were
how
knocked out of their warm
did
nest.
we
We
invite
forgot to
the
put
swan
eggs back, each in its
eggs
own
to
special
the
spot,
picnic?
so the baby swans
Because
can hatch
our
in time for
friend,
the picnic.
the
Click on an
Pegasus,
egg to pick it
I
up.
believe she's a Pegasus,
Then, place it in
she
your
says
basket.
that
The
we
eggs are
invited
going
the
to hatch.
swans. How? How though? Porque?
Baby swans must
They're
be
swans. They
hungry.
hadn't even
Try to
hatched
keep it
yet.
fresh.
And it's not like
Pick it
there's a
up.
mom
Then,
nearby.
click on the
They're
baby
just
swan.
eggs.
When it pokes up its head to
Oh,
feed.
and I've gotten a bit better at using
That
Livesplit
swan
and in
looks
general
hungry.
recording since my previous video. So I was able to have like real accurate splits
All
while I played the
swans have been-
game.
We'll see
Like
the
next to my game and not on like a separate
Wow,
monitor or
I
something.
wonder what's
So,
behind that huge door.
if Aaron ever wants to come back and beat this time, at least I'll have something to compare against to know my potential. Also something I was doing, okay, so this is a skip I got in my previous run. I said you just have to left click. It doesn't always work. Sometimes you can left click and it skips the animation, sometimes it doesn't. Anyway though, what I was doing, when I got into a new area, I would always try to find all 6 objects, but if I was having even like a little bit of trouble, I would typically switch to the mini game, and then I'd come back and look for the object again, or look in the book to know what color to look for. I had to look in the book this time, I believe, to figure out I need to look for the clover. I hate the clover. I think I struggle with it the most. It used to be that transparent gem thing, but it's the clover now. Every time I've reset a run today when I've been running, it's been because of that. Anyway, though. I think this game is on the meh tier still. I forgot what I ranked it as before. Like, I think it's a high-ish meh. Like, I think it's a higher meh than some of the other ones.
See how the fireflies make the lanterns glow?
But yeah, there's just, it's not as appealing to me as Rapunzel. The good Rapunzel game. I don't know. They're pretty similar, honestly. Maybe there's just like too much RNG in this one. I'm not sure. It just doesn't feel as satisfying to like grind your time.
The lanterns look so pretty, all lit up.
And I mean, it could also be partially the fact that like, you know, I have 21 attempts, which isn't a ton in the long run. But like, I've gotten to a lot of the areas like multiple times, and my sob is still 8:18. Which, to be fair, is like 20 seconds better than what I got here. But that's not as big of a difference as I'd like it to be. You'd think it'd be like 8:08 or like 8:05, but no. You really have to just like have very clean execution. Good luck. You know, it's just like, I don't know. But it feels less satisfying to get those things than in other Barbie games. And it also doesn't help that there's not much plot to go off of, you know? Like, the graphics are pretty, but they're not like... The graphics are pretty, but it feels more like something to look at than to, like, play. And I don't mean that in the sense of, oh, it's like artwork. I don't know. I don't know. It's just a little bit off, and I don't know what's off about this game. I also read an article today about someone who played the bad Rapunzel game as a kid and loved it. It was a pretty decent article. But damn, I had no idea.
Let's see what we need to make this wand.
I don't know by how much I golded that segment, like actually, I wasn't paying attention to Spin the Fairy. Spin the Fairy and musical kind of like, I felt like once I got a time, I was kind of stuck at that time. There's a lot of like, there's not really RNG in musical, I'm just bad at it, but there is a lot of RNG in Spin the Fairy. Like, it can really fuck you over.
The magic is working. Using this wand will bring a rainbow of color back to the forest. That's it.
I was really happy to see the screen split. I was kind of worried that I wouldn't get it because, you know, my current pace was 8:35, so, you know, that's not too much leeway. And timing's gonna end soon. Yeah. Timing ends as soon as the screen starts to fade to black. Have a good day, gamers. Bye.